Today we're going to set up wildlife watering stations that you can put in a corner of your backyard or garden, or even set up in a balcony garden or veranda. You may be wanting to help our local wildlife out, particularly during times of drought. So here are 3 ideas for adding wildlife watering stations to your backyard. The first thing you can do is to provide a bird bath. Now you can buy these, of course, at nursery supplies and shops and so on, or you could make your own by getting a shallow dish and securing it onto a pole or column. Just make sure it's elevated from the ground so it's away from predators like cats. You can add some natural elements too, like logs and rocks for birds to perch on. And I've actually got my bird bath on a little bit of an angle so that there's an edge there for them to perch on to access the water. We want to attract smaller native birds to our bird bath, so it's good to plant shrubs like coastal rosemary, Westringia here. This is a bigger variety, but still with a small leaf. And these smaller flowered shrubs will be attractive to small native birds who will then hopefully hop over and visit your bird bath. So wash out and refill your bird bath every time you water your garden, just to keep it clean and free of mosquitoes. The next idea is to provide a watering station for flying insects like bees, ladybirds and other pollinators. Now these insects can find water themselves in their environments, of course, but during times of drought it's great to provide an additional water source for these creatures, which will also encourage them to come and hang out in your veggie patch. So what we're trying to do here is again copy what nature does a little bit. So we're going to use a very shallow dish to hold the water, and then I've added natural elements like sticks and rocks to sort of mimic a bit of a riverbed or a creek. So a slightly elevated position is good, and I've just got mine on an upturned pot here, and then fill it with pebbles or gravel, and I've just added a stick as a bit of a bridge and a perch there on top. So you can just nestle the insect watering station down amongst your veggies and flowers, or anywhere you want to attract pollinating insects. Let's look at what we can do for lizards and other small creatures living down here under the shrubs, in the grasses and ground cover and leaf litter. So I'm using this old bin lid that I've turned upside down as a saucer, but you could use any shallow saucer like the terracotta ones we were looking at earlier, or even a plastic pot saucer. So I've just popped the bin lid down under the shrubs here in the ground cover, and I've secured it with a big log and some rocks. I've just added a little artwork there as well to provide shelter for the lizards when they come to access water. It's also great to build up rocks or pebbles around the edges of your lizard lounge, because that's again a place for small skinks to hide when they're coming to access water, to hide from predators. And again, we're adding some perching elements here as well. This would be fine for a blue-tongue lizard to access, but for a smaller skink he might get into trouble. So we've got some bridges and perches for them to access the water. And now we add water to the lizard drinking station, the lizard lounge. So that's 3 quick ways you can provide a water source for native wildlife in your backyard. If you'd like more information on what plants to put into your garden, visit the Habitat Stepping Stones website, and there'll be a link at the end of this video.